Hey guys, so another day, another self-defense lesson. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the Hand Yoke from Module 2. Now in the Elite training system there are 12 modules. There's actually more than 12 DVDs because some of the modules you get 2 or 3 DVDs. But anyway, this is the Hand Yoke. Very effective at close range, as pretty much, well, all these techniques are pretty much for close range. I'll leave the links below to this particular article and to all the fantastic sort of very instructional, very handy DVDs by the self-defense company. It's not just the Elite training system. As I've said in my other videos, there's all sorts. There's weapon retention, there's family safe programs, there's protect this, what is it, CySA program, but this one today is Hand Yoke. Now why the self-defense company? Because it works. This is based on what the commandos did during World War II, which had a devastating effect on the Germans. It's tried in battle, it's tried in the streets, because the guys who basically sort of founded this did a lot of their training on the streets in one of the most violent cities in the world at the time, which was they were police stationed in Shanghai, which at the time was full of, you know, drug triads, and it was full on. Now, with this, why this system is also so effective is you learn a handful of, basically you learn a handful of actual what would you call them, techniques, and then all those techniques apply to whatever you know, whatever your attacker's using against you. You apply the same techniques. So you know, basically you could pick 5 out of this whole lot and you'd be good to go. And that's why the now also, for those of you who don't know, you know, martial arts is basically a sport, and you know, it's a good sport to keep you fit, and you know, to be in you know, for good community thing, and sort of cultural thing it can be too. But it's, people mix it up and think that self-defense and martial arts are the same things, but they're not. For one thing, in martial arts, now there's nothing wrong with martial arts, because Damien here, who's the founder of the self-defense training system, has got 3 black belts, and I think he still does you know, judo and wrestling, but he realized that for, you know, a real fight, 99.9% of the cases, it's not going, what you learn in martial arts is not going to apply. Now, another thing that people probably don't know about, what happens when you get into fear, when you get into a fight, you know, when you get into the old fight or flight event or syndrome, what happens is your adrenaline pumps, and your heart beats at approximately 170 up to and over 170 beats per minute, and at that, when that's happening, certain things happen to your physiology, and then for instance, you get tunnel vision, so your peripheral vision is gone. But the big thing is your micro, or whatever you call them, minor muscular movements also go out the window, and all you've got left is like macro movements, you know, So you can't do all these fine little, you know, techniques that require fine motor skills, fine neuromotor skills. You just can't do it because of this situation when your adrenaline's pumping and your heart's beating at approximately 170 beats per minute. It sort of shuts down in a way and only goes back to just doing big swings and things, and that's why all of these techniques are based on those you know, on the big movements, or the movements that you could still be able to do once you're in this fear or fight or flight syndrome. Anyway, on with this. Now guys, if you can hit that subscribe button, I'm going to be bringing much more out. I'm also going to, in the near future, I'll be bringing out, well, because Damien's stuff is basically the actual fighting, and it's, you know, obviously he teaches you how to defend with weapons and offensive weapons, obviously, and how to train your body, you know, to get fit and train your body so it can take hits and whatever. But, and although he does have a few products, I'm also going to put you onto a system later where it's more survival gear, tactical gear, so look out for that, because that's coming up. Tactical gear, you know, survival gear, you know, lock picks and knives, multi-talented knives, so that basically, you know, you've got a knife can do 5 or 6 things, you know. It's like maybe got a torch on it, it's got a fire starter on it, it's got a various things on it, things like that. So more you know, tactical gear, survival gear. Anyway, so that's coming up. Yeah, guys. So if you remember to hit that subscribe button. You can also donate to my Patreon. I've got a Patreon account, but I realise, you know, a lot of people have got a lot of money these days. You can donate various cryptocurrencies below. I've got all those listed. Now, also below, because obviously Damien has got a lot of DVDs and things out, so I'll put links to basically all those below in my description. But I'll also put a link to this particular one and to the main one in the immediate description. So let's get on with this. Hopefully the sound is okay in that. So this lesson is from, like I say, Module 2, Advanced Strikes. This almost forgotten technique is still used today by people who deal with violence on a regular basis, and that's what we're talking about here. People who deal with violence on a regular basis. Hopefully the sound is alright.
I'm Damien Ross of the Self-Defense Company, and we're back in the barn. And today we're talking about the Hand Yoke, which is featured on Module 2 of the training system. Hand Yoke, or web of hand blow, strikes exactly with the web of the hand. It comes from any position. A rear hand strike, hips moving into the target, striking into the throat, striking into the side of the neck, or striking into the back of the neck, which we feature in our Guardian Defensive Tactics series. Some problems that people have is that you hit your thumb. To that I say, pussy. No, just kidding. To that I'm going to say, no problem. You really want to get the impact here, so what you're going to do, instead of coming straight, if it's a problem, just arc the blow a little bit when you're training. That's why it's an advanced technique. It's not as really convulsive as the edge of hand or the heel of hand. One of our favorite combinations that we like to do from a close range position with our arms folded is a short edge of hand yoke opening. Guy comes into my space and moving in. Again, into my space, hands are folded like described in Module 1 and Module 2, and explode all over them. Remember, hit with hate, hit to hurt.
So there you go, guys. I'll leave the relevant links below. That's just a taste of what you get. As you can see, it would be very effective. Actually, I remember Damien saying, does he know if people have actually used this? You know, the methods and what effect it's had. But basically, Damien said, yeah, devastating. Which I'd say is true. So there you go, guys. Links below.